All right, so let's go with 2 month update. Been like about 2 months, so you can see. Oh, I got some schooling fish in here now. I got some Hingoli raspberries, and I didn't know about them before, but they're kind of like okay. You're probably thinking they look like harlequins. Harlequin raspberries are large. Then there's a raspberry called S-Bay raspberries that are smaller and full body red. These guys are Hingoli raspberries, which are they they're kind of like they're like they still have the red, but the red is supposedly only half of their body instead of full body. But I mean, they look pretty fully red to me, but they're pretty. So these are Hingoli raspberries, very similar to S-Bay raspberries, which are like miniature harlequin raspberries. I wanted a schooling fish for this tank, but I didn't want harlequins because they're huge, and I didn't want anything that's gonna annihilate my shrimp. I still got my gold ram in here, and I still got my little pandagara. This little guy right here, he's awesome. But I did take out my took out my platinum white beta because he, she, whatever. I call it a her because it looks like my old Dumbo ear female, but I think it's a male plaquette short fin. But my I took out my beta because my beta is a very, very efficient shrimp killer, like a sniper. So I'm trying to populate with some shrimp in here. So here's something kind of new, sort of. I probably shouldn't even be touching it. Maybe you can't see it, but that is a Rotala Mexicana red next to the green ones, which is Mexicana Araguaia. And I had one stem of Mexicana red for a really long time and it wouldn't grow. I'll see if I can zoom in on it. Probably not. My camera sucks. But yeah, that's it. Mexicana red. And the little green ones right there next to it, Mexicana Araguaia. So the Mexicana red's finally growing. I did lose my, right here behind these Rotala Ramsor creamers, right behind there was a big Cryptspiralis tiger. I did lose that because I had reached in and I had reached down to grab another plant with tweezers or something like that and to pull on it, and the Spiralis tiger leaves were wrapped around, like snaked around my hand, and when I pulled up it just ripped the whole plant off. The root system is still in there, like just the root system. So I just left it in there. Maybe it'll grow back. It'll probably just rot, but I don't know. Who knows? Crypts have big giant root systems and they store a lot of nutrients, so maybe it'll grow back. So kind of a new development here. This mystery crypt that I got from a friend turned out to be a Nuri Rosen Maiden. See if I can get it. Okay, look at this leaf pattern. Very pretty. It was real pink, now it's getting its green. And of course you see the red Aereo. I took my red Aereos that were back there and I pulled them out from the middle because they were just too big for that section. And I put two here, right there. So I put two right there, and I'm just gonna fill the path in with flamingos because I like how they grow. So I took a couple of flamingos from back here off behind this rock and pulled them out, and I put them in the mid back. I took a couple of the blood vomits out here and I gave like one or two away. Then I took the couple that I had left. I got a couple right here I haven't touched. That could split into 3 or 4, but I'm leaving it for now. But these little blood vomits back here, yeah, it's hard to zoom in. When I zoom in, my phone looks blurry. I thought my camera was awesome on this phone when I got it, but I see other people's um, videos they make on their newer phones, and the cameras are way better. So if I upgrade my phone, it's only going to be just because there's a way better camera on the new ones. This is a Samsung S9. Anyways, those are some blood vomits over there. I split a couple of them. And so I had a lot of algae on the rocks before, and I've been spot treating them with hydrogen peroxide. And then I finally just got fed up, and I actually started spot treating with also CChem XL. So I would pick a spot like this, and I'd get 5 to 10 milliliters of peroxide, and I would slowly like put it onto the rocks with no flow going. I'd turn off, like unplug my filter, and then I would immediately go back and take 5 to 10 milliliters of the XL, and I would go over and hit the same area, and it killed off all this moss. Like, it all turned pink. I still got a little fur left, a little bit left over, you can see, but for the most part I took care of it. And a lot of the buse leaves didn't get messed up from the XL or the peroxide or anything, but a lot of the buse leaves and stuff, like I did have to take 1 or 2 big leaves on almost every plant and go ahead and just clip them off because they did have algae in them. There's still some algae in here, like this bulbitis leaf. You can see that it has algae, but it's not going to be perfect. I got most of it. I hit those rocks back there, so you can see like the purple looking spot is where I hit it real hard with the XL and peroxide, and then the green part is the part I didn't hit with it, because like over here you can see these rocks were completely green, but now this part that's not green is because I hit it real hard. And then after the algae had kind of fuzzed up and died, last night when I did my water change, I went ahead and got in there with a toothbrush and just scrubbed the hell out of it and got most of it off. Here's some pink staghorn left that's dead, and this little bit right here, you can see I need to scrub that off. But I don't scrub my rocks and wood and stuff like I should, but I don't like to scrub them if they have algae, because it just scrubs it into the water and goes everywhere and settles, and anything it lands on is going to grow. Also, although I like snails, I have way too many snails, and I don't mind the pond snails, which are I don't mind the pond snails, but I hate these sideways. These are not ram's horns. These are like sideways spiral shells. I hate those. So whenever I'm siphoning, I knock all over the rocks. I go along the rocks and I kind of scrape across the rocks, and I suck out all the snails I can find everywhere. So I've started to suck out all the snails everywhere. If it's a white pond snail like that, or a ram's horn, I'll try to leave it. I'll try to go around it, but pretty much if they get hit, they get hit and they get picked up. So my cryptocorn Hendrick is growing really great right there. You can see it's hard to film, but there you see, real pretty. Looks really good. This longleaf buse down here is called Luna, and it's real pretty, but it is, a lot of it's melted because my friend sells buse and has a lot of he's got a business, and sometimes when he gets a patch of something melted, he asks if I want to pay shipping and rescue it, and I will. My Star Johnny purple here, these are growing out pretty good. Those guys are looking good. The buse over here, some of this buse that was also melted rescue. You can see the coloring is pretty good on it. I've got some gold leaves, some red leaves. And oh, that crypt hidden under there is a regular nuri. And one of my friends, she sells plants on Facebook, and some of this fat-leafed Sagittaria platyphila that I collected locally, I traded a few of those for 2 stems of Hyptis, so I'm trying it out. I did knock down the Myriaphyllum, the parrot's feather. I knocked those down, trimmed them down. They're growing back, they're coming back. They grow fast. This Ludwigia, that's a narrow leaf. That's an old narrow leaf that I have. But that's one of the palustris that I collect in my brother-in-law's yard. And I got a couple more back here. They don't have a lot of color right now. But yeah, that's the little ones that I collect locally. I got some of them growing out. Yeah, the fish are doing really good. You can see my other Cryptspiralis here. They're bright orange, so I'm wondering if they are okay, like whenever you see Cryptspiralis, Spiralis is always green, right? But then again, so is Balance, and Balance can turn brown. But I got this as Spiralis, and they were all immersed. But I mean, look at that color, so I'm wondering if it's a Retrospiralis. Retrospiralises are like a golden red color in there. They get huge. So, I don't know. I have no idea. Back here, my Crypt Custata, my Albita Custata, it's growing in good. It's really coming in. Hard to tell because of all the waves in the water, but look at that. It looks really good. And those are some more of those fat-leafed Sagittaria that I collect. Limnophila aromaticus. They grew back after I'd severely chopped them down. Rhinecki alsopus, I removed a few. I removed a few here, moved them back. And then I mowed the Sophias down completely. But, because I needed somewhere to put these, a couple of Ereos to get them out of the way. So, but I put some Sophias in the back there. So, I mean, they look good back there. They're doing okay. So I still have some in case the ones I chopped down don't make it. My Walichis got out of hand, and I lumped them over here a little bit. There is my piece of mermaid weed. I always have like a few baby stems hacked off and then one big one. Oh, my Rotala Pearl Type 2, the Rotala Pearl Mini. This plant here, I think I've just about murdered it. I mowed it and mowed it and mowed it like it was hair grass. So I do have some stems left that are growing back in nicely like it's supposed to. You can see the curly ones. But you can also see that some of the stems are growing in like when it mutates to this type. See this little regular Rotala looking? That's a regular Rotala Mini. And if you don't take care of your Rotala Pearl Type 2, it will mutate back into that because it's a mutated plant. So, whole bunch of abuse, whole bunch of stuff. A lot of people ask me about my substrate. The front is sand only. But I'll go ahead and, I know I've said this before and showed it, but see if I can brighten this up to see it. So, from here to here, I filled this with Special Kitty 100% natural clay cat litter. About half the tank. And made a giant heap with it on both sides. Kind of almost a V shape, sort of like a valley with a dip in the middle. Because I was going to make a sand path in the middle. So, this is cat litter. You can see it, but it does pretty well. You can see tons of roots on the other side. So all it is cat litter up to there, and then I took some. I have some Just Natural brand potting soil. It's like a potting soil mix from Walmart in a giant bag, and all I did was I took the giant bag of it and I sifted it through a colander, then I sifted it through a flour sifter and got the smallest, tiniest pieces of it possible, and I got it slightly damp, and I made like a layer from, like, you can see where I started the layer, because it goes just sand to right here. The front strip is just sand. Then I took cat litter up to there, and then from there going up on the strip, the whole back is done with dirted with soil, all the way back there and all the way up there. And then I took like an inch and a half of pool filter sand and put on top. But as you can see, some of my sand, maybe I should have put more. So I did have a little bit of algae problems, and I believe part of it was because snails were digging into here, and then every time they came back out, they were bringing soil with them. And every time I uproot a plant, it brings a little bit of soil with them and a couple grains of the cat litter. But the cat litter works good. You can see the roots. You know, it works good. So yes, it is mostly sand. There is no aqua soil, but there is soil. It's like potting soil. But the potting soil, like I said, I put the potting soil and I didn't quite make the sand cap thick enough. So there were some problems, some issues with it. Like, if a big cause of algae in an aquarium is when you want to move a plant or something, and you have high tech with high light like this and CO2, and you're a couple hours into your cycle and the light comes on and you're like, oh, I want to move this plant. You take a plant and you pick it up and you move it. Well, that little cloud that comes up, that turns into algae. So every little cloud of dust that I made anywhere in the tank flowed right over here, right down to here, and like all these rocks and all this crap and all these plants, everything in this corner got hit with it. And back there, way in the back, some stuff got hit because I had uprooted one or two things back here once in a while, and when I pulled them out, didn't do a good enough water change, and it caused some algae dust on some stuff, even some of the areas. So what I did last time was, you look back there in the reflection, you can see soil under the sand. So what I did was I take my siphon hose, and I had a big giant Rubbermaid tub down here, and I got in there and I start sucking up the sand, and then plug the other side of the hose so the sand falls down, then suck up some more and let it fall down. And I kept doing that until just sand was falling down, and I got the soil out, the dirt. Then I added more sand on top. So hopefully algae issues are gone. The flamingos look great. I think I've murdered my Rotala pearls though, because they're not growing back like pearls. They're starting to grow back just like, only like this. So we'll see how that works out. And oh yeah, the friend who gave me 2 stems of Hyptis also gave me a couple stems of Bacopa colorata, because I've never had it. I have Bacopa caroliniana, which looks just like it, but it's more of a green to a golden color, which I've had some turn pink, but this one gets more of a purple. I have 2 stems of that now. They're just thrown in here for now. So that's it, man. That's the that's what's going on in here. It looks pretty good. I know I talked about a lot of stuff, and I know this is like, I don't know, it's just, this is a really long video. So if you did stick with it, maybe you wanted to learn something, needed to know something. If you have any questions, you can ask about them in the comments, whether it's about a fish I have, or a plant, or just anything, or whatever, or something. If you have, I'm not like a professional, but I mean, if you need help or wonder, or hey, what's that one plant somewhere on the back left, or whatever, like, just let me know, and I'll answer. I'm in a lot of plant groups, and we all help each other out. And oh, this light will be changed soon. My account just got stimulated. So, and I'm still working and paying my bills anyway. So this SB Reef light, I've been meaning to get another light. So I ordered a T5, this 36 inches with 4 bulbs. And I just ordered 3 bulbs for now because I'm looking for an orange 3000K that I can't find in that length. But I will have T5s sometime soon. And we'll try that out, and we'll see if I get bit with big algae or what happens. I haven't done T5s since I had like 2 T5s over 100 gallon like 20 years ago. So we'll see how it goes with T5s, but I'm excited. So that's it. Any questions or whatever, just let me know.